Non-Americans, what is the best American food? Cajun food. Definitely the most unique American food. If you want to see someone's soul leave their body in the best way possible, find a Southeast Asian or Filipino friend and take them out for Cajun food. There's an entire community of Vietnamese people in Houston who took Redbone Cajun food to extremes. Ever seen a buffet with an 8-foot-high tower of crawfish? Turns out the climate along the Texas-Louisiana part of the Gulf is very similar to Vietnam with a lot of the same seafood. My wife, Filipino, tried gumbo and crawfish etouffee for the first time and she was upset Filipinos had ever thought of it. Now all she wants to do is take vacations to New Orleans. Pulled pork. Luckily a couple places make it here too. Pulled pork burger, pizza, pulled pork filled crepes with coleslaw. I miss strawberry Twizzlers. I can't buy it here unfortunately. And strawberry Pop-Tarts too. I also like the bagels, especially the one with chocolate chips. I sliced it in half, put it in the toaster and then put butter on it. It was delicious. Rice Krispie treats were also surprisingly great. I loved the brioche French toast with blueberries in the brioche itself. Luckily I found a great recipe so I regularly make brioche French toast with crispy bacon and maple syrup. I hate to sound like an ignorant foreigner but a made-from-scratch mac and cheese with at least 3 different cheeses plus a crispy breadcrumb crust on top is one of my favorite American dishes. I'm from Mexico and we get spoiled with our traditional cuisine but I found the Thanksgiving dinner experience in the US incredible. Love everything. The turkey, dark meat smiley face, cranberry sauce, the stuffing, oh the stuffing, mashed potatoes, salads and the delicious pays that follow for dessert. That whole combination plus the red wine and good company is an incredible experience hard to match. Spaniard who lives in the States for 6 years. I liked apple pie, pastrami on rice sandwiches, Tex-Mex, all the things you do with sweet potatoes, virtually any item at a Waffle House, bagels, Reuben sandwiches, chicken and waffles, cheesecake, s'mores, chocolate chip cookies, buffalo wings. I never got into peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I tried, but it wasn't for me. Anything smoked. Brisket, pork shoulder, chicken, turkey. I've even had smoked burgers. If seasoned well you don't even need barbecue sauce and it is so tender and juicy. This is probably a recipe for disaster but I'm British and growing up visiting Florida I would love eating raw cookie dough from the refrigerator section. Cookie dough is so good that, given the option between not eating it, or getting food poisoning, nearly everyone will pick the cookie dough. It's one of the few foods in the country where everyone knows the risk of food poisoning, and everyone makes the conscious, willing, and eager decision to not give a fuck. Besides these testimonials to eating the raw cookie dough, whether from the supermarket or your own house, there's now a growing and thriving business in cookie dough made for eating raw. Some fancy grocery stores carry it. There are shops for it just like ice cream shops and bakeries, plus recipes for it online so you can make it yourself. Cookie dough is one of the major food groups. As a Nigerian, one would expect my favorite food to be idk jollof rice or swallow. But no, it's fries. I absolutely love them. They're my all-time favorite food. I can't get any burger or chicken without fries, and I can eat as many of them as possible. Fries, 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 forgive me if they aren't originally American, one really don't know these things. Those potatoes with cheese in it you make for Thanksgiving. Edit. Wow, thanks, so much response. I mean the double-baked one, but the funeral potatoes I have to try them to now. So, I became a green card holder a short while ago and in the 2014 I had my first Thanksgiving. Me and my family went all the way up from Miami to SC to visit our family from Georgia which they had this summer house in SC and then the family that came from Tennessee made fried turkey for Thanksgiving. Oh. The Lord be praised, that turkey was phenomenal. In Vietnam, chocolate chip cookies are called American cookies. I always wondered about this, like if certain dishes or whatever were called American. Like in the USA, we will say, let's go out for Italian food, or whatever. Like if there were an American restaurant in another country, what would be on the menu? Interestingly enough, the Vietnamese generally also view spaghetti and especially lasagna as American. There was actually a restaurant I saw the first time I was there called Steak, Spaghetti, Soda. On the marquee the way Buffalo Wild Wings has wings. Beer, sports. Uncle Sam's All-American Grill. They had. I helped open an American bar in the 90s in Cologne, Germany. Mainly it was burgers and ribs, cheesecakes, brownies, sloppy joes. Germans loved that nachos were big as well. I look at the pictures from the restaurant and the food looks so bad. Oddly enough, no one seems to have mentioned it. But cornbread. Yeah, as a Kai who moved here, Americans have got cornbread down to AT combined with some soul food. Makes me smile on the inside. Gives me high blood pressure, but smile on the inside too. American here, but recently spoke with an Italian exchange student and asked him what he would miss most about the States. Dead ass, he said, chicken parm. That's not an Italian thing. He said the first time he had it, he called his friend back home to tell them about, and she hung up on him. Pro tip for non-Americans. If you are ever in the US for Thanksgiving end of November and have nothing to do, go on the local city subreddit where you are and post that you are a foreigner who would like to experience Thanksgiving, and I guarantee you will get an invite from someone to the best holiday we have. My grandmother used to offer her Thanksgiving and Christmas table for foreign exchange students before she passed. It put a smile on her face sharing that with others. There were still leftovers for all. To those outside the States, Thanksgiving is meant to be spent this way. It's a special time to share. Literally to be thankful for what everyone has, be it family, friends, health, etc. By the way, if your city doesn't have a Reddit, just stop by any church. I'm sure the members would love to have you over. Baked cheesecake, Boston chowder, pecan pie, barbecue ribs. Are you telling me it's not general procedure in other countries to take a rack of ribs, grill that bitch with a nice rub, cover it in sugar sauce, then face the entire thing until you get so dehydrated from the salt content that it gives you weird meat dreams? I worked in California for a while and this bakery near me used to have this spicy bread that was packed with cheese and jalapenos. It was greasy as fuck, but holy shit it was good. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. At first I thought it was a disgusting combo, but when I tried I loved it. I have relatives in Carolina. I'm UK, and the first time I had vinegar-based barbecue I nearly cried. That stuff for me can't be beat. I'd be fucking huge if I moved to the States. My daughter was born and raised in Dallas, TX, moved to Geneva, Switzerland 6 years ago. Every time she comes home, she packs a giant suitcase with canned chipotles, peppers, sochil salsa, pounds of chili powder, salsa verde, the works. When she throws a Mexican dinner, her friends go nuts. But their favorites are her fried chicken, she learned from dad. And they always track down a turkey for Thanksgiving. She's learned my gravy and dressing recipes to the letter. She always sends me pics and videos of her friends freaking out over super legit turkey gravy. So beyond how cool it is that my girl really picked up my love for feeding people, she's brought some family recipes overseas. She works at the UN, so she feeds people from like 9 different countries. My best friend moved to France and her #1 request for gifts is black beans and seasonings. She says she can't find them in France. Every time she visits the US again we always get tacos because she misses them so much. Biscuits and gravy. Nothing even comes close. A good buttermilk biscuit with a proper sausage gravy is heaven on earth. Because by the end, your heart stops beating anyway. If you've only had it from a restaurant, I can tell you that it gets much better. Once in a blue moon my immediate family from Chicago goes to visit our relatives from Bumfuck Nowhere, Missouri. Like, living on a farm, can't see any other houses, 0 cellular reception. Let me tell you, my great aunt's biscuits and gravy are the best I've had. They're so good that I can't order biscuits and gravy from a restaurant because they all just taste like cardboard and pepper, literally no flavor. She has provided me with the most mouthwatering dish I've ever had, but at the same time ensured that I can only enjoy said dish if I'm at their farm. If you're going to try B&G, find yourself an elderly farmer's wife, haha. I really like Reuben sandwiches. This is an excellent choice that I wasn't expecting to see. A well-made Reuben's is king among sandwiches. Also a big fan of Cubanos and muffaletta. When I try a new place, If they have a Reuben, I'll try that first, because if they can do that well, everything else on the menu is probably pretty good. Edit. Much love to all you fellow Reuben enthusiasts out there, and thank you for the awards. Oppa's gonna make a killin' opening up a barbecue bakery in the UK that serves nay clam chowder, cheesecake, high in chocolate chip cookies. Edit. Add peach cobbler and vanilla ice cream, dear God. Do it right, Opp. Edit. Are crawfish boils a thing in the UK? I may be a simpleton, but an average diner with bottomless filter coffee, pancakes, bacon and syrup was my favorite part of the day. Although I did put on about 10 to 15 kg after a month in Texas. Edit. Since I got some upvotes, I would like to shout out Lulu's Diner in San Antonio. I Airbnb'd next door, and ate there at the counter every morning for 2 weeks. Is cheesecake American? 'Cause that shit is glorious. Rarely do restaurants get it right here, but when they have that authentic graham cracker crust, it's the most delicious dessert I've had. I lived in Asia, and when I visited the USA for 10 days my entire diet was basically Texas barbecue with all the sides, all the pies, apple, peach, pecan, key lime, Philly cheesesteak, hamburger and fries. The simple desserts like fudge brownies, chocolate chip cookies, Krispy Kreme plain glazed donuts. Soft drinks like Dr. Pepper and root beer are absolutely hated in Asia.